Hi again, guys. So we're back. This is still the rainbow flower wreath thing tutorial, and during the break I realized that this is actually 7 colors. I'm still going to do mine with 6, but if you would like to do yours with 7, that's okay, but I don't want a bunch of comments telling me that it's 7 that I'm saying 6 when it's actually 7. So yeah, so I have cut out and folded all of my 6 colors, and they look really cool. And so now I'm going to take one of these. I'll just take the red one and put all the others off to the side, and then I'm going to take my thin cardboard and I'm just going to desk view again. I don't know how great this is working, but it's better than nothing. So I'm just going to spread this out completely, and I'm going to take my marker. This is a black marker, but if you wanted to, you could use the color of each of these. That way you don't get black marker on them. So yeah, then I'm just going to uncap this, and I'm going to line this up with the corners as best as I can. It doesn't have to be perfect. In the example, you can see, hang on, let me cap this marker. In the example, you can see that the cardboard is bigger than the actual paper. So I think that is how I'm going to do it. So I'm not going to quite line it up here. And it's easier if you leave a bigger gap here and then just put it along the edges over here than trying to get an equal sized gap all the way around. If that works for you, then you are welcome to do that. Again, this is your craft, not mine. But if you don't want to, that is totally okay. You just leave a bigger gap on the sides with the gap, which now I'm saying gap a lot, but that's okay. So I'm just going to use a marker along here. If you wanted to, you could make little marks and then use a ruler here. That way you're not marking your paper. I chose not to do that, but again, you're welcome to disobey this video as much as you'd like. So yeah, I'll be very excited when I can post this video, because that'll mean that I have a YouTube account, and I've been wanting one of those for a very long time. So you can see now I have this piece of cardboard. So I'm just going to take my scissors, and I'm just going to cut along here. And this part doesn't really matter how perfect it is. You just want it to be a relatively straight square. You can see mine turned out slightly rectangular, but doesn't matter. So then I'm just going to take this piece, I just cut out, and I'm going to put it on top of here again. And I think it went this way. Yes, it did. That lines up with this edge better. And so then I'm just going to take my marker again and just outline it. This time I don't care if I get Sharpie on it, because that'll leave it the same exact size. And it won't show, because remember, we're putting the wallpaper on these. If you want to just leave them as plain cardboard, that could actually be a good idea. You could just color them in with marker. You wouldn't have to worry about then the wallpaper. I guess the duct tape wouldn't fall off, but the wallpaper might fall off. So then you wouldn't have to worry about that. So in that case, you would just need to add colored markers to your list of supplies that you'll need. So I'm just going to cut this out. Alright, so that is really all the pieces that we need to cut to make this, unless of course you are making it with a duct tape cover, in which case you would want to cut out whatever design you want it out of duct tape. For example, this one is flowers. But again, I'm doing it with the wallpaper, so that does mean that I will need to cut out the wallpaper here at some point, so I'm just going to do that right now. So I don't know which wallpaper. As you can see, this is a huge book just filled with wallpaper, and so I will just flip through quickly and whatever I find that looks kind of cool. I really liked that one, but I want to use that for something else. So let's just flip through and find one of these. And so maybe we like, for example, that one. You know, that's kind of cool. That kind of looks like clouds to go with the rainbow. So I'm going to use that one. And I would recommend that I'm going to find my marker here. So here's my marker, and I would recommend that, here's the wallpaper, I recommend that you flip it over and actually trace it on, this is the wallpaper that I'm using is over that way. And I'll see if I can, there we go. And so yeah, I can say I'm really crafty, I have my sewing machine in the background. But then you'll take your cardboard piece, whichever one, it should be the same size so it doesn't matter, and you just put it onto the wallpaper. This one you do want to be right up against a corner. And I'm just going to trace this. You know, it might be a little bit harder because this is wallpaper, so it's got all the adhesive on the back. But that's okay. And then you just can cut out another one right next to it. You can use one of the same lines if you butt them up against each other. So you only have to cut out, well, you have to cut out less. Doesn't really matter, but then it also saves more of the wallpaper for use later. So now you can see here's my cardboard again. And then I'm going to find my trusty scissors. These are probably my favorite pair of scissors. I assume I'll be using these in a lot of my videos. And I'm just going to cut all the way down here. As this part is relatively straightforward. You know, you're really just cutting out the rectangle of wallpaper. And it'd be cool if you could like iron these onto the cardboard because they should have the adhesive on them. But which I know is not how all wallpaper works. This stuff does work that way, I think. But either way, I am just going to use my glue stick. This is also my favorite glue stick, so I'll probably be using it in most videos. And so then I'm just going to cut on this last line to make the two squares. And I'm sorry if I'm kind of over-explaining this, but that's okay because I'm doing it as I'm talking. So again, that's what the shorter video that I'll make is. Now, I don't know where my second piece of cardboard just went, but that's okay. It's probably right over there under the book. So I'm just going to take the wallpaper and my glue stick. This is now step 3, assembly. So it'd be cool if I could like get a screen that would say like assembly on it, but I'm not that advanced yet and I don't have a video editor. So maybe some of the videos when I'm like 13, 14, I could figure out how to do that, which would be really awesome. And so if I'm posting this video again in a few months and I know how to do that, then there will be a thing that says like assembly there, but probably not. Later videos. So you can see I just did around the edges and then an X in the middle. And then I'm just going to put a little bit onto my wallpaper sample. Again, this is a very, very nice glue stick. Oh, it's from 3M, so you know, of course it is. Shout out to 3M there. Ha. And so then I just put the two pieces together. You want to make sure if they weren't quite perfect squares that you line them up the right way, because again, mine were slight rectangles. So I need to line these up nicely. And what I love about this glue stick is it makes it really repositionable. See, I can slide it all around. But then as soon as you press it down hard, it will stick and stay that way. Because I am a tape person, I am not a glue person usually. But for this, it's a lot better. So then you can see I got a little bit of white around the edges. So I'm just going to cut that off. It'll make it look a little bit better. And the glue needs to dry anyway, so we're not wasting much time. So now you can see I have one of my cover pieces. I know that's really glary with the light. I apologize for that, but I have a little bit of natural light coming in. So now I'll center this again and move the wallpaper out of the way. And I have my second piece of cardboard. So same basically deal, you know, glue, and then you put on some glue onto the wallpaper, and then you put them together. So you could probably move the video ahead like 20 seconds. Yeah. But if not and you want to stay with me through the gluing process, or if you're doing this along with me, then you might want to pause the video right now. So whatever works for you. And so yeah, this is probably the first video that'll get uploaded, but I plan on doing a lot of videos. I love YouTube. I'm on YouTube every single day, which I know is bad, but I absolutely love computers and stuff. And I'm a bit of a nerd, but I'm like a fun, athletic nerd, so I'm the great type of nerd. And because I don't like nerds that are just like completely I mean, they're okay, they're cool. Once you get to know them, then they're really awesome. But like, if you're a nerd and you like don't hang out with anybody or anything, you're not as fun to be around. Of course, then you're typically super smart, and that's awesome. So now I have my 2 covers. We got way off track there for a second, but I have my 2 covers, and to finish assembly, again, I am only using 6 colors, but you can be doing this with 7. It's the same exact instructions. So you can see, if you look at this, these are my pieces of paper. You can see, if you look at them, if you take the middle crease, the one that goes from corner to corner, and you fold that in, it looks like that. So you want to get them all lined up so that they all look like that. So that they all look the same. Or if it's easier for you, you could line up the back corner where there are these 2 flaps that'll come down. So whatever works for you, just get them all lined up so that the folds all go in the same direction. So I prefer just to have the reference point be these 3 pieces. So I have them all lined up like that. And so it looks like that. And then I'm going to take the red one and the orange one. And I'll probably pause the video to put the rest of them together. So pay attention, and you can rewind, so you might want to take note of where this part starts. And so I'm just going to take the glue stick, and you want to put it on one side. It doesn't matter which side, but one of the squares. So I will do that. More gluing, you say, yay! So I'm going to do desk view for that. You can see I always pretty much do the same technique when I'm doing squares. I just go all the way around and then do an X. And I'm sure there's probably better ways to do that. So again, glue pattern does not matter. You only need to do that to one of the sides. And then you're just going to take them, making sure that the folds, so this is the part with the 3 sections. And this is the part with the 3 sections. And then you want them to both line up so that the folds are identical. And then you just kind of want to stick them together. They don't have to be perfectly lined up. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, like I already said, so I probably will have them close to perfectly lined up. They will not be perfect, I'm sure. And then you just press them together. And now you have your first part. If you want to make this more secure, as you probably should, you just take the inside 2 pieces, the part that's now glued together, and just kind of press them together. Like I said, this is a really good glue stick, so you can see it's kind of getting its glue all over everything, and my hand is sticky, but that's okay, because it's crafting and sometimes it's messy. So I'm going to stop the video again, and so check back in for part 3. I will add an annotation maybe somewhere around here somewhere, assuming I can figure out how. And so yeah, I will see you in, well, for you it'll be almost nothing, and for me it'll be